skies and neon nights, controllers lit like fireflies. Old freaky gamer in the zone, level up the unknown. Game Talk Newz, it's all a thrill, conquering worlds with skill on skill. Game on, game hard, streaming stars were never far. Game on, game hard, in this conquest we're avatars.
And everybody, welcome to the GamezAttack podcast here at OldFreakyGamer.com. This is episode 114, as this episode is called Assassin's Creed is Bugged. Now the title says it all, folks. How's it going? I'm doing ups and downs this week, goods and bads. I wanted to play more Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but unfortunately that's not happening. So why don't we get into what I mainly am going to be talking about right now is Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. A game that I originally just started to like and love, and I was having a real fun time playing this game until the dreaded bugs came around. Hold on. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds pretty good, right? I really wish. Hold on. I know this ain't the theme song, but they should have borrowed this theme song. Now, this pirate game did not have bugs in it. No, not at all. Yeah, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced does have some bugs, and a lot of them. So recently, this was in the middle of the week-ish, I think, right? Beginning, middle of the week, I forgot, so already. I was playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. I'm streaming from my Xbox to my Xbox Rogue LAX, and when I was going into a new cutscene after I was doing my jumping around and looting and shooting and having my cookie cocky Assassin's Creeding fun with Kenway Edward. I forget how to say his name. Went into a cutscene, and all I seen, and this is when I started on the beach, when I was going to talk to my shipmates on the beach. They were sitting by the fire and all that. I come into there, I hit Y to start the chat up with them with the cutscene, and all I see is and I know in the audio version of this podcast, you're not really gonna, you don't hear nothing. But if you're watching the video portion of this podcast, you'll see what I'm doing. But there was nothing. They were doing their actions, they were doing the cutscene, but yet there was no audio for the main character or the crew. Now, at times when I got on the ship, when I finally got my ship, at times for brief little seconds, Ken Edwards, I think that's his name, Kenway Edwards, Kenway, whatever. The main character, you can hear him a little bit, maybe sometimes in portions of steering your vessel and hearing some of the crew and stuff. They can still sing their shanty songs, and you can hear everything else. You can hear all the ambient noise, the ship noise, the boom, 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 everything else except the main dialogue of any character in the game, especially in the cutscenes. And at first I'm like, oh shit, maybe it just something glitched in the game. So I went back to a previous save. Still happened. Then I took the nuclear approach, turned off the game, turned on the game, fully shut down the game, turned off the Xbox, fully shut that down, because sometimes you get those little technical glitches, and sometimes shutting everything down and turning everything back on works flawlessly, because I had audio issues in games before and still nothing. Then I went into the super nuclear result of uninstalling the game and its DLC and then reinstalling the game. Got back into my game save. Still not working with the audio. Then I got really pissed off. I'm like, oh shit, don't think. Because a lot of people are saying, including like Ubisoft in their notes, because I will be going through some. There's a lot of bugs in this game, folks. I've been finding out a lot of bugs, not just audio bugs, but a lot of bugs across many platforms, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, stuff like that. This game is riddled with bugs. This is the only bug I noticed so far. I wish I had other bugs, frankly, not that one bug where the game saving bug. I hear that was a really bad bug. I wonder if they patched that. I would hope they would have patched that right away. I haven't had anything like that, but any other bugs and glitches I would be okay with, but not being able to hear the main character's audio. And I put on the cutscene or the subtitles, and yes, he is talking and saying stuff, so the subtitles are showing what it is, but I can't play a game not hearing my boy and hearing what everybody else is saying. I'm not deaf. I don't need the cutscenes, boy. I need the audio. I paid the money to play the audio for the game. And so like I said, I fully uninstalled the game, reinstalled the game with the DLC, booted it up, and still nothing. Then I tried starting up a brand new game, kept my original save, but started up a new game save, started from the beginning, because I'm like, well, maybe it is the save or something, and then I'll have to just... And I'm like, okay, I played over 8 hours of this game, but most of that was just jumping around, thieving, doing that stuff, and I'm like, shit, I got to do all that again, even though it's fun, but I don't really want to do it all over again. But started it up, new game, and guess what? No audio from the start of the game. And I'm like, what the fuck? Then I got really fucking upset and perturbed. I'm like, now the whole game don't play audio? What the fuck happened? Did something happen when they patched the game? Maybe there was a patch to the game that broke the audio or something. That's what I'm thinking, because if I shut down, turned off everything, uninstalled the game, shut the Xbox down to a very cold shutdown. I turned and unplugged it and hit the power button, because you do that for a couple seconds, it'll drain the rest of the power out of the console, because you never know, there could be any weird little thing. I did every single thing that they would probably stupidly ask me. Did you do this? Did you do that? Yes, I did everything except delete my main save file, but that would be stupid, because if you're not doing the main save file and you're using a secondary save file, a brand new game, that main save file should not affect that other one. But still, no audio. I got upset. I recorded it. I reported it to Ubisoft, which also has other other reports of bugs and stuff. And they got this whole huge Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced Ubisoft bug thing going on here, and there's tons of stuff that are done, that are planned, in progress, or like my issue amongst others, audio, which is open, which luckily it's open since July 16th. Dialogue not playing, plays one line, blah blah blah, all that stuff. That's mine. Plays one line when exiting menus. Mine doesn't even really do that. This is across all platforms for this thing. Steps to reproduce, they're talking about here on this bug. So this is, like I said, this is 1.0.2 dialogue not playing, plays one line with exiting menus, And basically categories audio, like I said, all the consoles, PC status. This thing is open, reported by Ubisoft. How is this reported by Ubisoft? This is reported by people like me, but I guess Ubisoft found out about it too. I don't know. Steps to reproduce, complete an in-game cutscene. All audio disappears. No audio returns even when a reload of a save. Frequency 1 out of 2 times. Workaround, as they say, verified by Ubisoft. Restarting a game should resolve the issue. No, it does not, fucking Ubisoft. No, it fucking doesn't. And a lot of people are like, in contributions are like, ha, H. No audio after Mary dies. And this is mine. This is mine right here. I'm also getting no dialogue from the main protagonist. See, I'm the only one on this fucking list here of retards that posted problems with the game, that actually went through the steps and told them what I did and how I tried to fix it, and still it wasn't fixed. I even sent them a YouTube link of what it not sounds like and what it looks like. Unlike these other retards here, I actually did my job and reported correctly. These other retards did not. I wrote here, I'm also getting no dialogue from the main protagonist and others. Sometimes I hear a very almost unnoticeable faint comment from the character, then nothing. Tried many times quitting, restarting the game, even reinstalled the game, rebooted my Xbox from cold start, nothing works. Can't play the game if I can't hear the speech. And I have a nice little YouTube link for them to look it up and stuff. Other people are just sending screenshots. I don't know what that has to mean, because a lot of this stuff doesn't even involve this audio problem. This is like other things, like this guy on PC, Animus, Value, Richards, and Reputation, complete the quest. The other cheek is not marked as completed, even though finished the mission. This isn't the right thread for you to post your shit in, you dumb motherfuckers. And then you got this one guy that can't speak English that's wrote in all his stupid non-English stuff. And then you got these other retards talking about other bullshit here that don't make no fucking sense. Not working, fix it. This people, if you don't got any actual contributions to the problem, then don't fucking post anything. There's a lot of stupidity here, like the guy with these people with screenshots and stuff. There's no fucking screen, there's nothing to see. You got to have a video. I posted a video because there was actually something to see and not hear. And this isn't working. It says contributions confirmed for review, 33 out of 3 required. I don't know what that means. I guess it just means that they are going to look into it and fix it. Hopefully they fix this problem. Whoa, what did I do here? Oh, shit. What did I do? What did I do? I screwed up my own self here because I got I got crazy and ambitious here. But yeah, that's a problem. So I was going to play, because I was trying to fix this all the way till I got home, all the way up to Friday when I got home on Friday to check it out one last time. Tried to fix everything and still nothing. And then I had to do my emergency setup for a brand new stream, which I then decided to do some trucking with American Truck Simulator, because that actually fucking works. So there's a lot of stuff working here. I hope they start putting this in progress for the no dialogue not playing, because that should be number one. I don't, there's a lot of other stuff like severe frame drops. This is like mostly PC stuff though. Camera fob too close during ship on. Okay, whatever. Game freezes when using the mouse and keyboard. Okay, unable to continue. There's some stuff here that is needs fixing, but that I guess are in progress, planned, done. But there's tons of stuff here. All issues. If you go to all issues on here, there's a whole page here, and there's tons and tons and tons of issues. Game crashes with you. A lot of PC stuff I'm seeing here. I could tell there's a lot of definite PC issues going on here. Yeah. Unable to change voice language due to missing whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it just keeps going and going. I'm just seeing a whole bunch here. It just keeps going. Visual audio syncs, cutscenes. I'm just scrolling here, and more stuff is just. Boy, oh boy, this for Ubisoft. I know they've been fucked for a while, but shit, guys, how do you releasing games that are so bugged out, so buggy, a lot of bugginess. At least mine's up more up the top here with the dialogue not playing with people. I don't know why other people put other things, but yeah, I reported an issue. It was a sad time because I was really enjoying Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, doing the ship battles, which I was finally getting the hang of. Now I'm gonna lose all that knowledge on how to do the ship battles properly, and steering and stuff like that, and tricks to keep my ship from sinking and stuff. And then I wanted to just go loot and terrorize people throughout the communities, and there was even a point in time where I couldn't even save the game. There was like I don't know if that was a game glitch or bug or glitch or something, or if I had to complete um a mission or something, but there was a lot of fucking shit going on, mostly just the audio that was bothering me. And I'm like, well, I guess I got to stop playing this game. So I still got my game save. Maybe one day I'll come back to it. It's sad because I was going to use that. I was going to play Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced like every Friday. It was going to be my Friday stream game. And I was looking really forward to streaming it each and every Friday with you guys and playing. I love pirate games. I wanted this to be my pirate game because I didn't like it at the beginning from the original game. And with all these things that they added to it, made this game a lot better. And then you got all this stuff. And I don't know if that's because of how, Ubisoft was letting these people go, or not enough people working on issues or bug fixes after the game. There's a lot of stuff that maybe they should have done before the game got released, but maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't check it hard enough. I don't know, because there's a lot of bugs on the Ubisoft bug page here for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. And I can safely tell you, after playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, I don't think I had maybe one time I might have had a bug or something in that game. Otherwise, I've had no issues with that game whatsoever. Why am I having issues with this game? Who knows? Only they know at Ubisoft, folks. But it's sad, but it's something I got to live with. And it's not the first time that kind of shit has happened to me, with a little game called, and I forgot the game name here. High on Life 2. Yes, High on Life 2. That was another game I was playing, and then it was glitching out and it was being really bad. And I was going to come back to it, but I never did go back to it. I got like a good chunk of it played, and I just never went back to it. And I don't know if I ever will. It's one of those things. If you can't keep a person like me in the game right away, and then you lose me, I might not come back. But this game I will try to come back to, because it is Assassin's Creed game, and it's, pirates, and I really want to play it more. I'm just sad that I can't. But I'm also happy that I can also go back to, I'm going to be playing more other games, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I got to get back into. I got to play that. I got to beat that whole festival thing with the gun throwing and presentation thing. I got to get that going good so I can beat that, defeat that, and keep going on throughout that game, having fun with that again. Got plenty of PowerWash Simulator. I think that Star Wars DLC just dropped as well. It was showing something on my Xbox Rogue X about the DLC for that game, and I'm like, I do want to spray down some C3POs and stuff. So maybe. So yeah, that's all I got to talk about for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, folks. I wish there was more to talk about on the issue, but as of right now, that's all I got. Hold on right here, folks. I'm trying to go back to my main thing. I might as well, because I already started talking about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced and talking about the audio issues, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll do the games that I played in the past week. We'll talk about that now, while I could talk a little bit more about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced on what I thought was really fun about it.
The games that have been played in the past week.
Hold on, I was taking a drink. Had to wet the throat. So, yeah, more about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Like I said, the Navy naval ship, the ship-to-ship stuff and the combat and the sailing and all that stuff, really good. Definitely reminded me a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey as I did it. I think, and I don't know for sure, maybe it's just me, maybe the game needs to be tweaked a little bit, or maybe I just need a better ship for better turning and stuff. Maybe that's why, because I just got the ship. Turning is very hard in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, turning the ship, to steer the ship and turn around and stuff. And that could just because I need a better rudder and a better ship or something, maybe. I'll have to look that up, but otherwise it's pretty interesting on what I could do. And when I was upgrading my ship with cannons and mortars and stuff like that, it's pretty fun time. It's pretty fun times. And then going to island to plunder and kill Spanish troops. I think they're all Spanish troops. There might be some other different types of soldiers and stuff, but I think it was mostly the Spanish troops and stuff. But it's a game. It's when it was working, it was a really good game, and I just liked doing everything from running through the streets, stealing stuff, opening up chests, going up and doing the resyncing of the world and stuff like that. I was having a lot of fun, and I was having fun doing some missions and stuff. And now I'm just like, well, gotta wait. And the game looked and played very well. You know, I was playing on fidelity mode, I guess that's what it was called, on my Xbox Series X console, and it played very well. I didn't have no slowdowns or hitches or glitches except for the audio, and everything seemed really, really good till the audio issue, and goddamn, I hope they fix that audio. So that was Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Like I said, folks, buyers beware now, because I was thinking, well, if this game ain't patched, should I try to get a refund from it from Microsoft? I know that's probably near to impossible, but shit, if a game is so severely broken and I can't play it, you should give me a refund. Or else I should go to Ubisoft and say, I want a refund. Because Microsoft sucks. Because, you know, Microsoft's been in their own turmoils and shit with their bullshit as well. But as large as a company that Ubisoft is, even though they fired 50 people on Assassin's Creed Black Flag, or they were trying to, or I think they did, I don't know. It's always confusing when they say, yo, they fired them and let them all go from the water team and stuff like that. It's like, companies just don't care about anything anymore. People gotta understand companies in 2026 aren't like they were in 2020 or 2020. I think around 2020, like 6 years ago or 10 years ago. We'll go 15 years. They weren't like this 15 years ago where they were actually begging and pleading and being super nice and doing all of the top stuff to try to keep and make customers happy. Now, now everything's fucking flip-flopped and flipped overhead and everything went to shit. After everything went to shit, now all these companies, and I mean every company, is like, bad customer service. We don't give a shit. We don't definitely give a shit about my customers. You want to return something? Fuck that. And you're not going to be able to do nothing because there's no recourse on it. And now all these companies are bad and evil. Every one of them. You know, Amazon used to be okay and decent. They were still kind of evil, but they were still okay and decent with a lot of stuff. They're still great with returns, though. I just returned those Neo glasses because I kind of figured, well, the screens are still too small. And then I'd have to buy some eyeglasses. I'd have to get a prescription to, you know, wear them much better instead of putting them over my glasses, which was ridiculous. And I'm like, I was never using them, so I decided I was going to keep them, and I just decided I'm just going to return these. So I returned my Neo glasses, my video Neo glasses, and I'm like, maybe down the road there'll be a better pair of glasses or video glasses for me so I can use them down the road. But they were okay for what they were, but the screen sizes was too small, and it was not immersive at all. And I'm like, $300 almost. I might as well just return these, get the money back. And then I put that money right into another item I bought right back from Amazon. So Amazon, sure, you had to return these, but you got these returned to you. But I also bought something different from you. I bought a couple things. So that made up for it because I bought a new Samsung Galaxy tablet, a bigger one, for watching movies outside or in the kitchen or whatever. And it's a nice big, I think 11.5, 12-inch tablet or something like that. Really nice. It was like only $200. You know, it has like 6 gigs of memory in it. And what was it, 128 or 256 gigabytes on there. I can expand it with the micro SD card slot, but I don't need to do that because I don't need to store anything on this tablet. It's mostly to stream my media from my server to it, or if I ever watch Amazon Prime on it, or if I resubscribe to Netflix or Disney Plus or something in the future, that's going to be my media tablet. So I can watch that stuff, or I can watch YouTube on it and stuff like that. That's all this tablet's going to be for. It's only a media tablet for me. So I didn't need to get that higher end 8 gigabyte of memory, 512 gigabytes of storage on it or anything like that. I didn't need to do that. That would have been like $300 and something. And I'm like, nah, this was only $200 and something, which the Neo glasses, returning those, paid for and right away with that thing. So bought a tablet, bought the nice tablet case for the tablet, a nice super rugged rubber on the outside, plasticky, but a nice rubber with a nice screen cover and a nice, great kickstand, which you can turn. You could turn this kickstand around 360 degrees if you want to move the tablet around and around. Oh, and to mention, and I know we're going to get back to the games that I played in the past week, but for the tablet, it has 4 speakers on it. It has 2 on each side. That thing sounds really damn good with bass and audio. It plays movies really good, and they sound really immersive and stuff. Very, very surprising for a tablet. Now, I have another Samsung Galaxy tablet. I got the 8-inch tablet. It's very thin and langy, but it's really nice. I'm mostly using it as my bedroom tablet for videos and stuff like that from just my bedroom. I was using it for my regular media tablet for just watching movies outside or in the kitchen or something, but I'm like, I can use a bigger screen for that, and I could just keep this one in my bedroom so I could just watch stuff in my bedroom and stuff, and that's what I do for that little tablet because it fits nicely on my bed stand and behind me. and I could charge it up and I can watch some videos on it and stuff. Really cool. I love Samsung's tablets. I think they're really cool. And because I'm not an Apple guy, I don't give a shit about Apple or iOS. I don't like any of that stuff that they make, and their operating systems suck to me. And their ecosystem, of course, is the main thing. But the Samsung tablets look and feel just like those Apple tablets. I got to tell you, that news, especially the new Samsung Galaxy tablet that I just got, the 11.5, 12-inch tablet. I brought it, I took it out of the box. I'm like, wow, this thing looks a lot like a iPad. It's so silver and curvular. It's so shiny. It's like slick as hell. It's thin as hell. I'm like, damn, this is just like an iPad, except it's running Android. But a remarkable. So that, I don't know how I got into that stuff. I know I started talking about games, and then I'm like, oh, I returned these Neo glasses. I know that. So I did that and bought a tablet and stuff like that. So So back to the games that I played in the past week. PowerWash Simulator 2. I don't know. That's what I was originally talking about. I was talking about the Star Wars DLC. And I also bought DLC for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is now going to waste because I got a nice DLC for that where where your main character looks like a demon from hell, and he's all on fire, and he walks, and there's fire trails coming from him, which is pretty cool, but I can't see it or do anything with it because the game is not working. And then I bought a little extra boost pack to boost all my stuff for, to upgrade the ship and do all the other stuff. Can't use that because the game doesn't work, and they should give me some extra booty for the game glitch bugs. Yeah, Ubisoft, you should give us some extra booty for our problems of not being able to play the game. So when the game is playable again and I can actually hear my main character and he can talk to other characters, I want to hear them too. So you should give me some extra booty for that, but okay. But PowerWash Simulator 2, I'm doing the theater still. I'm power washing the theater. Eventually, I'm going to buy that Star Wars power washing DLC. I don't know how much it is, but I can look it up right now. I am opening up the Xbox app on my PC here. It's probably going to bother me to say, hey, come into Xbox mode. I don't need to go into Xbox mode, Mr. Computer. I just want to go check up on something here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, did you know, everybody, that Pal World is at 1.0 right now? Isn't that amazing? And Xbox has an ultimate game sale going on, even though there's no games for me to want to buy because I got them all. So, okay, I'm going to PowerWash Simulator 2. Here's the Star Wars DLC. Oh, it's only $10, $9.99. What did you get in this? I got to find out. Set during the events of Star Wars A New Hope, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Take on the role of POW2, a Class 5 cleaning droid. Your average assignment quickly spirals into commanded to carry out the Empire's dirty work. Before cleaning the way for the Rebel Alliance. Rebellions are built on hope and soap. Okay. Dirt is no match for a water blaster at your side, kid. And this one's got enough force to remove even the grimiest globs of grease in the galaxy. Take aim at muck and blah, 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 blah. Does it say what you're going to be power washing? Follow your fifth fighting path alone or forge an alliance. Play through the campaign solo or team up to become the second most iconic droid duel in the galaxy. It says what wish list now, but you can buy this. It's out now. But it doesn't say what you are power washing. What am I power washing? Oh, I'm seeing now. power washing stuff like Death Stars and X-Wings and Dobagas, Bagados, Ice Walkers, places like that. Okay, I got it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty uber cool. Okay, I got it. So, yeah, I've been playing Power Wash Simulator 2. Like I said, nice, calm, easy, relaxing game to play and not worry about anything in the world, or not worry about, oh, I'm too tired to play this game. I could just relax, sit on the couch, and I don't get wet doing it. Playing it on my Xbox Rogue X, amazing. Okay, whoops, I turned off my audio for 1 second there. I heard myself. This is why I have my feedback here. I love this mic. And then, of course, the third game, which, like I said, I streamed on Friday instead of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. I went to my good old American Truck Simulator via Steam PC here, and I will be playing it and streaming it live again this upcoming Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on OldFreakyGamer.com and YouTube Live / Twitch.tv as well. Boy, even though I've been away from the trucking, going back is just so much fun, even though I'm sucking sometimes. But it was a good stream. A lot of people jumped on. A lot of people were watching me actually this time. You know, games like this actually gets people to sit and watch and listen and see me do stupid stuff and talk stupid shit. And yeah, listen to this fake music that I've been playing on this thing, which is good for me because that means I'm not too worried about copyright strikes or notices. But it did come up, there was a notice on there that did say, hey kid, if you want to make money off your video, this might be not making you any money because we might be somebody else might be taking some of that money. Just a heads up. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't make money off my videos or anything anyway, so it doesn't matter. I do it all for fun and for free. Fun and free. Unlike other things that aren't fun or free, but yeah. American Truck Simulator. It's still fun. I paid for DLC. I was playing the DLC. I was trucking across the USA almost, and I'm trying to get myself not just leveled up, but I'm trying to get as much money as possible so I can upgrade to the biggest, best rig, buy a bunch of buildings. I got to become a multi-millionaire in that game. I know a certain Alex Navarro has played this game nonstop for many, many, many years, and he's like super rich in his game, and I'm like, damn, I got to get super rich in American Truck Simulator. I was thinking if there's a cheat, I know people say cheating bad, but even though in American Truck Simulator you could play with other people, I play solo. So it's just me in the game, and because it's on Steam, I'm sure maybe something in Steam Workshop or whatever might have some way of me getting extra money very easily. I'll level up normally, but just give me that extra money, honey, so I can actually do some stuff to my rig and whatnot. That is something I'm trying to look into. But otherwise, you know, it's fun playing as it is. It's just a fun game. It looks very good, and it looks very good on a stream, and it looks very good on a video because it's trucking, and I'm playing my trucking still with an Xbox controller and not a PC mouse and keyboard, and definitely not a racing wheel. I was thinking of getting a steering wheel. I think I still have one in my wish list on my lists on my Amazon account, but I'm like, do I really need to buy a wheel? How many times am I going to be playing this game? And two, where am I going to put this fucking wheel at? I got this desk. I would have to get like a special little desk for the wheel on the bottom here for me to play that with a steering wheel. And I had a steering wheel once a long time ago. It wasn't for PC though. It was for like, I think PlayStation. I think it was a racing wheel for PlayStation at the time. I think it was from Mad Cats or something. I forget what it was from. And I know I was playing like Need for Speed with it. And I was like, yeah, this steering wheel sucks. And I had the shifter, I have the pedals and stuff. And that thing, I got it for Christmas, I think. I asked for it for Christmas. And that thing was big in a big box. I wonder what I did with it. Did I sell it or what happened to that racing wheel? I think it was like for the PS2 or something like that. And it was okay. It wasn't the best, but it got the job done back in the day. And I was like, huh. And that was at the time a lot of flight sticks were very popular with the joystick sticks out there. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think, I don't know. Playing with an Xbox controller works just fine for what I need to do in American Truck Simulator. If the game, excuse me, okay, let's see here. I'm looking at an update here. Let's see. Oh, now it's coming tomorrow. Okay. They pushed it to tomorrow. Not expected tomorrow by 8 a.m. Oh, my package got delayed because they suck. No offense. No, I ordered another thing. Of course, I ordered something. I was waiting on my delivery for a media remote. I'll talk about this in a second. I know this ain't gaming, but it's more techie computery stuff. I also talk about techie computery stuff here on this podcast as well sometimes. But back to the racing wheel. I don't know if it's like less than $100 and I get a cheapo one with it, just, you know, it doesn't need pedals or anything. If it comes with the pedals, cool. But if it just has the steering wheel, great. If it does have a shifter, okay, but I don't really need it. But I don't need nothing expensive or big, stuff like that. I would just have to figure out how to use it. It would have to sit on my lap, or I'd have to have like a little like table or something to put over my lap to have the steering wheel, because I can't put it on this table on this desk. There's nowhere to put it because I got the microphone right here in the middle. Got my keyboard. I got my control center here. Got my mouse here. I got too much stuff on my desk already. There is no way in hell that I could put this on there. But otherwise, American Truck Simulator is just plain old fun without having a steering wheel and stuff. I know Mr. Alex Navarro would say differently for that, but for somebody like me, just fine. And that was only the only games that I played in the past week, because I did not have much time because I was just working and I was tired. I only worked out one day this week. I was going to work on more days, but I was just so tired. We had fires burning up north above us right here in Buffalo, New York. I got these big fires going up in Canada up north, and all that smoke and shit was coming on down. It was just tiring me out throughout the week as well. Even though I was still doing some stuff outside, but otherwise, yeah. Today I was outside a little bit more because I was putting in my sprinkler system for my bushes and stuff. I got an automatic sprinkler system that I built and installed myself. That was fun. I had a fun time, even though it was super windy. It was supposed to rain. I think it rained for like 2 seconds. I don't know if it's going to rain now or anything, but I'll see if it works, because it's supposed to start up at 3 a.m. I have it started up at 3 a.m. and it's supposed to go for like 2 hours, because it's a mist. It's a mist sprinkler system that I purchased, and I'm misting my bushes in the ground and stuff, getting them really nice and soaked and wet. And it takes like it's going to take like 2 hours, because the mist is very light and all that. It's going to need a lot of water to water those bushes, but I'm hoping it'll do a good job. I was going to put it also on the side of the house, on the other bushes on the one side of the house, but I'm like, nah, this would take a lot of extra stuff to do, and I didn't want to have a hose going across anything, and so I opted not to, and I just water those regularly. But those are just 3 bushes. This is like 9 bushes in the front of my house, and there's a lot of stuff to be watered. So yeah, I'll have the system do that, and you never know. Maybe next year I'll put a watering system in for the other bushes or something down the road. But for now, that's all I got. But yeah, I was out there doing that, doing some filling of some concrete cracks and stuff. I got some goop, self-leveling goop to fill in the cracks. So eventually, when that shitty old man winter comes around down in the near future, and it gets colder, or it gets rainy and cold and things freeze, it doesn't raise my concrete because it's not going to get in the crevices and stuff. A lot of stuff like that. So I was outside doing a lot of stuff, cleaning, organizing, putting more rocks around because I had some extra bags of white rock to put on around my deck porch and stuff. So yeah, haven't been doing much gaming today either. A lot of work, a lot of moving around, which is good. Keeps exercised. And after this podcast, that's when I'll sit down, relax, watch some more movies, and play some games. So did that, talked about Trucken. Let's talk something else that is not gaming, folks. Let's talk about Emby. So I am a big gamer. I have big digital gaming collections. I got big physical gaming collections for some older game systems, and newer. I got Xbox Series X and Xbox One games and tons of 360 games, some Xbox original games. I got tons of GameCube, Wii games, stuff like that, some Switch games, because like I said, I'm selling off most of my Switch games because those cartridges aren't going to last. I got Vita games. I got games up the arse, digital and physical. And another thing I got that is up my arse, beyond up my arse of ownership, is my favoritism of movies and TV shows and stuff and documentaries. Also, my media, my viewing media. I purchase and buy and collect a lot of movies and TV shows and audio and stuff like that. I have a gigantic thousands of movies and stuff in storage in my basement, in my in special holding containers that keeps them nice and dry, and keeps them cool and dry down there, and so they'll last a long time. And I digitize them before then. So I digitize all of the movies and TV shows and stuff, and I put them on my server. I got a server upstairs, and I got, terabytes and terabytes of storage, and I put the movies on there. They're not in 4K or anything like that. They're mostly in 1080p or less, depending if they're just DVDs of stuff and they're in low Ks and stuff like that. But anyways, I was originally playing all my movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I could play them anywhere from that NAS. I could play them on my TV, my Xbox media player, my computers here and all that. But the problem was, and it's been for a long time now, I was playing them every time I wanted to play a movie or show or something. I had to, go into the folder, go into the right folder, see what I want. And I can't see what movies I have because it's just 0, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you got to go into each letter and say, do I want, maybe I want to watch this movie or this TV show. And, you got your Netflixes and your Disney Pluses, you got those interfaces and stuff. And then you got stuff for media centers, like people talk about Plex all the time. Everybody's like, oh, I love my Plex media center and stuff like that. I tried Plex. It did not work for me at all. It was very confusing. It was very complicated, and it had a lot of cruft to it. They put in a lot of bullshit to it. And this was before all the price hiking going on with Plex. now you got to pay for so much stuff with Plex. It's like, Plex ain't even really worth it anymore for that shit, unless if you're a very big diehard Plex fan with all the extra bullshit that they got in there. But I didn't like it, and it didn't work with my NAS Synology NAS system and stuff at the time, and I'm like, fuck that. So I stopped trying, and then I heard about this other one, this other media. I heard about a bunch of media players and centers and servers and stuff like that. And then I came across one called Emby, EMBY. And they offer not just only a media server for my Synology NAS system, or you can put it on your computer or whatever, but they also offer an Emby Media Studio player, which you could still go in and edit stuff for your movies and all that and stuff. And it brings in information from various sources like IMDb, the movies database, a whole bunch of other stuff for information about your movies and shows and pictures and descriptions. And it makes it really nice, just like how, a Plex server would do and stuff, and other media servers and stuff would do. But it made these look so nice. It's like, it's like I'm watching on a streaming service, but it's my own streaming service at home, and I can watch it anywhere I want, on a TV, on a portable, on a tablet, on my TV, on my computer here. And I started trying it out not too long ago, and I fell in love with it right away. I was going to wait till the weekend to do it, but I just like, nah. And right now I just got done, and I think I still got to go through each and every one of my movies, because I don't know if I'm missing some movies, because sometimes Emby won't take in all your media, all your movies. Now, I'm going to do my TV series separately. Those I have to redo by hand, and I'll talk about that in a second. But for my movies, that was straightforward. That would just, Emby brought them all in right there and then, because I'm going to have a movie section, a TV shows section, a documentary section, and then there's going to be an audio section where it's going to be all my music on that. So that's going to be really cool as well. But for my movie section, it brought in all my movies except certain ones, because it didn't either detect them for what they are, because if it doesn't find like data for those certain movies, it's not going to bring them in or something. It's weird like that. I don't know why it does that, but so I got to go through and find them. Like there were certain ones, like it was like AVP and stuff like that, and there was AVP Requiem and stuff, and it wouldn't bring in the original AVP. I had to put in Alien versus Predator, and then it says put in the date, and I do that, and it updates and it sees what it is, and then it's like, oh, it's this movie from this date. Or if it still doesn't recognize it, you could go in manually and you could go find its actual registration on IMDb, and it'll bring that information in, and it'll bring in the video for you in the video studio. So I was fixing various things, fixing album art, Emby picking the way wrong thing for certain movies. Like there was like a certain movie was like Gone in 60 Seconds. It was showing the very old Gone in 60 Seconds. And no, this is the one with Nicolas Cage. So I had to update it with all that stuff. And I was doing it for a few hours. I did it last night after I did my trucking stream. And after I edited and I was encoding the trucking stream last night, I was just going through my Emby Media Studio and going video by video and stuff like that, and syncing them and redoing this and checking them and stuff. Now what I got to do, I got to go through my whole media collection one more time and go along with my media. What I have I have an actual app that I put in all the media in that as well. And I put in like what this is. Is this a Blu-ray? Is this a DVD? What movie, TV show this is? And I put in, the description and all that for that, the cost of the movie and stuff. Even it's through an app called My Collections, and I registered all the movies and TV shows in that before, I encode them and I put them on my server. So I know I own those things. It's a basically a record keeping for all my media. So I know what I have and I don't have and stuff like that. So I got to go through that alongside my Emby collection and see what it brought in, what it might have missed, because it did miss a few and I knew what it missed. So I knew from my very, very full brain of stupid knowledge of knowing most of the media that I have. But there are going to be some movies that I just forgot about or whatever. And then I'm going to go through and see, okay, do I have this? So I got to go through the whole alphabet and the zeros and stuff to see if I actually have all my movies in the movies in Emby. And once that's all said and done, because I already fixed everything on Emby that I have now, the movies collection will be perfect. Now for the TV series collection, I found out I have to do a little bit more work on my TV series. I have to name the names properly. I have to put, the series in folders inside a folder that says what that is, like Walker, Texas Ranger. And then I got season 1. And then inside season 1's folder, you got episode 1, blah, 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 blah. And it's going to be E1. S1 for episode 1, season 1, and I got to do that for each episode so it can Emby can recognize those as seasons and episodes, and it can take the correct information for each season and episode. And I never did anything like that through most of my collection. I did some sloppy work with my my TV series collection, and I have to pick them up. I have to pick them all up. I have to go through them all. And luckily I have way less TV seasons than I do movies. And the movies was pretty easy, but the TV series, there's a lot of episodes for a lot of them. I'm going to do Walker, Texas Ranger I'm doing first. Then I'm going to do like Trippin' the Rift and some little ones first, try to get all the little ones out of the way. And then I'll go back to the bigger ones again. What am I trying to say? What would be a big one? It would be that I'm trying to think of the name of the series. Holy shit. I got Smallville. That's a big series. That's like 10 seasons right there. What's that called? What is that one HBO series called? Oh shit. What's it called? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's in my brain right now. It's ready to come out, but I can't. Game of Thrones. That's another one I gotta And then anything new that I get for TV seasons and series and stuff, I'm gonna have to rip them, and I'm gonna have to do that whole, make sure they're that's season 1, episode 1, this, that, make sure the show names are correct in order to get all that correct. I tested it out a little bit at first. And TV series are in their own category compared to movies, so they're in a separate category. But organizing wise, I got to figure out I'm going to do them one at a time. And every time you just put in a new series or movie or something into the folder that Emby is taking from for movies, series, stuff like that, once I add a new movie or a TV show into those folders, Emby will see it. It'll do its synchronization. It'll check all the information. It'll try to, do its thing, and hopefully everything will work out correctly. And I was doing some studying, a little bit of studying on how Emby likes to take on and, get the episodes and stuff and seasons correct and stuff like that. So when I get all the TV series and seasons done, because another one I'm thinking of is that biker one. Oh, what's it called too? Shit. I forget. There's the biker, what I'm talking. Everybody knows what I'm talking about with the biker gang show. That's another one I got, and I got many more, but I'm just talking about the big ones on my list though. But yeah, it's gonna be some work. But when it's all said and done, like I said, the interface in Emby, it's just like a streaming service. I go onto my interface here or on my TV or whatever, or Xbox or my tablets. I go into my Emby app because Emby has an app for like everything. It has it for Xbox, PlayStation, your PC, your tablets, Android, iOS. It doesn't matter. It has an app for all of them, and that interface is so smooth and quick. And it's just like I said, it's just like I'm in a rental streaming service. I'm picking out my movie. I'm checking it out. I was watching like Toy Story 2. I was watching some of that last night, but then I got tired. It does, like, I can have it do its own chapters. And you can make how big the chapters are. So I make them in the chapter markers in 3-minute intervals for the chapters of my shows and movies and stuff. So it knows where it can easily stop at, or if I want to skip ahead or behind or back on some shows or movies or something like that. And I was watching Toy Story 2 and I was getting tired last night. So I stopped it. I paused it. I got out of it. Went in today. It showed how much I had left. It showed that I was watching Toy Story 2 and what I was previously watching. If I want to continue to watch it, I continued to watch it. I finished the movie. After it finished, it left the continued queue. It said it was done. So it left the queue, and it's just like a streaming service. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. So also I purchased the lifetime, because also in order to get it running on certain devices perfectly, like your TV and stuff like that, to be able to do it. And of course, for them to keep working on the Emby app and stuff and the server and all that, they got a paid subscription service if you want to pay per month to use the Emby service. Or, like me, a smart person, I paid $120 for the lifetime pass, and that's what I have for Emby. I gave them $120. I got the lifetime pass, which is the best thing to do, and I got a lifetime pass for Emby for as long as Emby stays in business, and as long as I can keep using it on my server and stuff like that. It's amazing. I have my own streaming service. Nobody else can get into it unless they log in and all that. Even has an interface, like if it's actually a streaming service, when you start it starts up really nice, like starting up a TV set or something, like a streaming service and stuff. Oh, or shutting it down. It shuts down like it's like you're turning off a TV in a streaming service. It's really nice. It's really clean. It's really simple. Eventually, when you figure out what to do on it, it's very simple. And sometimes it takes a lot of work to get stuff the way you like it, but shit, it is a very amazing app, server, and I cannot highly recommend it enough. It is so far. That's why I bought the lifetime pass, because it was totally worth it. It blew me away, folks. And like I said, from Plex, and I looked at others, and I'm like, Emby is the one, and it does a great job. It has tons of features behind the scenes, and I was just like so overwhelmed and blown away about how many features I can just work on and do behind the scenes. And I'm like, I'm just doing the small portion. I just wanted something so I could play my media, like my movies, TV shows, documentaries, and music, and that's it. It could do so much more, and I'm just like, I just need this. I just need to stream this to my devices. I just want to easily do it so I don't have to go into folders. And all I do is go into the movies category, and it has the big list, 0 through Z and stuff like that. And I just can go click on them, and it shows me all the, their photos of their cover art and what dates they are, when they came out and stuff like that. And I could see all the information from the movies and show stuff, and just click on it and say, I want to play this movie or this show. Oh, it's so beautiful. I wonder if it has a queue. So if I can put like certain movies or shows in a queue, and it'll just play from one to another. I wonder if it has a play queue. I should look that up. Play next, play this. That would be cool. I bet it does. I just would have to figure it out and find it. But it's a really good interface. It's really easy. If a dummy like me can figure this out at 40, because I'm 40 years old right now, anybody could do this. If I can do this, anybody could do this. Now, knowing I am technically a geek, but still, Oh, it's so beautiful. I showed some people at work, and they're like blown away. It's better than just going to a folder and going, oh, what movies do I have an A or N or something like that? That's just not really good. This is good. And it tells you the descriptions and the people that were involved, who was acting in it and stuff like that. And and if you got like two-parters, like I got a couple movies like The Lord of the Rings. Well, those were all one-parters, but like I got a movie called Atomic Train. Technically, they said it was a TV series, but I'm more saying it's a movie. It has two parts to it and two different videos for it. It puts that second video inside that same category, and it says, oh, this is part 2 of that movie and category. So I'm like, oh, that is really cool. It knew to put part 1 and part 2 of that movie right into that category. And I was like blown away by that. So technically amazing and pleasing. But what was supposed to come today, but now is going to be coming tomorrow morning, I ordered a Bluetooth media TV remote. I was looking for a good one. There hasn't been a good one since, the back in the day when Windows Media Center was around, and I had a Media Center remote, but it only worked with Media Center back in the day. And I had a Media Center that I made back in the day, but it was okay. It wasn't the best. And that was early days of me and Media Centers. Now, this thing is Bluetooth. It has a keyboard on back. It has the light up controller on the front. It's rechargeable, lithium ion rechargeable, and no batteries. So I can take, right now I got a touchpad keyboard in the living room right now, where I use for my little mini PC in the living room now that I play my movies off of. I don't play my videos off my Xbox anymore. I used to play my movies and stuff on my Xbox, but I was thinking, well, I'm wasting the Xbox. I'm wasting not only a ton of energy using this Xbox, but I'm wasting the Xbox and its internals, because it's still running, it's heating up. I said to myself, why don't I just take that little server PC that I bought that was originally going to be my new Minecraft server, but for some reason Minecraft wasn't working correctly. I'm still going to work on trying to bring back my personal Minecraft server someday in this house, but that's going to be a little ways away. I'm not too worried about it right away. But with this, it was a full-blown PC, Ryzen processor. It's a mini gaming PC. That's what they were saying. It's a boys game or something mini PC, and it's supposed to be able to play games like like my ROG Ally and stuff like that. It has a built-in graphics processor and all that stuff. But I'm like, well, this mini PC, it's super powerful, but all I want to do and use it as a media player. So now I have it as my media player, that mini PC, because it takes very low energy. And eventually I'm going to use the keyboard remote for it instead of the big keyboard on my table. And I'll have more room on my table in my living room for other stuff, and I'll have another remote. So I'll add that to the 5 remotes I already have in my living room for other stuff. So yeah, you're talking to a geek here that I love technology when it's good and when it works. And now that I got a real good media server and center and media player for myself as my own streaming service, and not being dependent on like a Netflix or a, HBO Plus or Prime or Disney Plus or something like that. I got more movies than Netflix ever had. I have more TV shows that Netflix and other places have ever had. Frankly, I got more better media than any streamer has right now. And I stream it all to myself because I own it all. I ripped it all. It's amazing. It's amazing what you can get out of just, focusing on that stuff. And I got to tell you, Emby, a really good media center. And like I said, it's even got an Emby app for your Xbox or PlayStation. So if that's what you want to use to still watch your movies and stuff, and you're a geek and you got like a Synology NAS or other NAS or something that you could put apps on, Like my Synology, I have an app center in there where I can put the app on, and it actually has an Emby app in there. That's perfect. It runs in the background, does all that stuff. It takes all my media off the folders that I want it to, and off to the races, folks. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit because, like I said, I haven't been playing much games, but I've been doing a lot of geeky stuff. So even though this is a gaming podcast, sometimes there's not enough games to be talking about. I know Halo campaign Evolved is coming out pretty soon. It's coming out the following week, not this week, but the following week. Let me see here. The following week, right? Because we got this week. Yeah, the following week, the 28th, it's coming out. I should be having on the 28th first gameplay of Halo Campaign Evolved, and that Friday I should be doing a game on a session with Halo Campaign Evolved, playing the new remade, remastered Unreal 5 engine Halo Campaign Evolved game with extra levels and stuff in it. This upcoming Friday, this week, I will be playing more American Truck Simulator. I can tell you that. And on Wednesday, of course, is going to be my next episode of Game Through. I think episode 5 of Game Through for Halo Infinite. Just to let you guys know. I'll repeat this at the end of the show, but yep, just wanted to let you know that. What I got here, folks, I got some surprises and I got some other talks. There's other geeky talk. So also, you remember when I said I said this in one of my earlier podcasts, that I was planning on maybe sunsetting my actual OldFreakyGamer website at oldfreakygamer.com. I was going to sunset that. I am probably going to, well, not probably, I'm definitely, I should say, going to sunset that next year. That is going to be sunset. And let's see here. Next return after August. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to sunset my subscription of Squarespace for my website next year because I'm thinking I don't really need a website. Not many people, there are very few people that go to my website. There are a bunch, but not as much as I would hope there would be. And 2, it takes a lot of work to put up content, edit content, do stuff to the website by myself. And then I was figuring, well, this doing and maintaining this website for my own personal stuff takes a lot of work, a lot of time. I'm not getting very many tips in my tip jar at all. I'm not getting, like I said, I don't charge for anything. I do have a Mr. Mike's tip jar. That's it. I don't do Patreons. I'm not making money off of YouTube with my videos or anything. I'm not into that because I don't have enough subscribers to my YouTube channel. And I was planning on selling like t-shirts and stuff. That's why I wanted the website, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll be sunsetting because it'll be just a lot easier just for me to post everything to, when I'm posting my videos to YouTube, right there. It's got a great interface. YouTube updated the whole interface. They updated how my video collections are posted and all that stuff. So it makes it very easy for me to just post and forget about it on YouTube. And then there's the podcast side where I use Podbean for my podcast hosting. And it's got a great interface. It's got all that. And plus, of course, you get my podcast on any of your podcast apps out there. So it's not like I need a website for you to go to that. You could just go to OldFreakyGamer on Podbean or Spotify or Amazon or anything. And you can, or Apple podcasts and stuff. And you can easily get my podcast from any of that stuff. And even though I did like how I have everything laid out on my website and how my website is awesome by how it looks and what I do and all that, I was thinking, why am I doing this if I'm not making money from this, or if I'm not going to ever make money from this. And then I just got an email from Squarespace today that helped me make that decision a whole lot easier. So originally I was paying $195 or so a year for Squarespace. I just got a email from them saying we're updating the price of your Squarespace website plan. Website is an annual personal plan, and your new price effective next year or by August 14, 2026, your next renewal after August 14, 2026, the new price is going to be $230. So I was already almost paying $200 per year for this website, which is technically not much, but it is. But it's going up another $30 for what? I don't know, because everybody wants to raise prices. And like I was saying, instead of wasting an extra, because I'm spending like almost $200 a year for my Podbeam to host my my podcast on. So that costs me like $200 a year. So this would be over another $200. So that's like $430 I'd be spending a year. So almost $500 a year just to host a website and host podcasts. And I know a lot of people listen to my podcasts because I see the numbers. I see on Podbean how many people, and a lot of people listen to my podcast. Not many people watch this video of the podcast. You should, because you can see my ugly face and you can see my cool backgrounds that I create, because I do some nice album art and stuff in the background and stuff. And you can see my ugly puss talking here and doing nothing but just talk. But otherwise, a lot of people listen to this podcast. So I'm definitely keeping my Podbean subscription because, of course, I'm podcasting first off. Audio podcast first, video podcast secondary here. But people listen to it. A lot of people. So that's not even a talk right there. Of course I'm going to spend money on that. The website, I'm not going to renew that. $230. I'll pocket that. I'll save that. I could put it into games. I could put that money into anything else. More movies, more food, more whatever, savings for retirement. Doesn't matter. That's $230 I'm going to save going forward. And it's not like it's all doom and gloom. Even though I'm not going to have a website anymore in that future for next year, I'm still going to have the OldFreakyGamer.com. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep renewing that through whatever, 2 cows or whatever I'm doing with that. And I'll just point it to my YouTube site, OldFreakyGamer.com, and it'll just take you to YouTube from then on, which is not a big deal. And the podcast will have its thing. And on YouTube, I got links. You can put links in there too, so it could take you to the audio podcast on Podbean anyway. So it's all good. And then like I said, I could post the schedule up on my social media accounts, and I could do it probably on YouTube as well. But I could do it on the social media accounts for X and BlueSky. I just post a picture of my schedule, and there you go. And then the website's going to be gone because it's not worth it. It's $230 from $190 something or $195 or $190 or whatever. That's a lot of money. That's a big jump. That's a big jump in price. It's not like a GamePass jump. This is something that I don't make money off of, that is very light on stuff, on content compared to most websites that post a lot of stuff. I think they got an easy way to back up the website. I will back it up. So in the future, if I ever decide to go back to doing web hosting again, and I want to go back to Squarespace if they're around in the future, and then I could just go jump back on and put my website back in there and stuff like that and do all the stuff. And then I don't have to do all the work again with that. I could do that, and I probably will. So I'll back that up and save my website for, just in case in the future. But otherwise, I don't really care. But like I said, if I'm retired, and and I'm here every day, then of course I can work on a website every day. But come on, $230 a year for what? And I can only and the only way I can post videos on it is if I'm going through YouTube. It's not like they can give me a bigger thing to do on my. It's crazy for just me posting when I'm posting and stuff like that. It's crazy that they're up in the price. They're like, we periodically update our pricing to reflect continued investment in Squarespace. No action is needed to continue your subscription. If you'd like to make changes to your subscription, you could do so from the site's billing panel linked above or contact customer support for assistance. Yeah, because I really, 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 really care about that. Like I said, I think I canceled the renewal for that, but yeah, like I said, in the near future, next year, I probably won't have a website because it's not like I post that much anyways. I used to post a lot back when E3 was around and everything was better. I used to post like articles on there and do a whole bunch of stuff. Now I just don't. I'll save a lot of time. It's going to be a lot of time I save. That's the biggest thing. I just edit videos that just post them on YouTube. I just point it to my social media network saying, hey, I got these videos up and the podcast is up. Very easy. Very easy. Instead of going to the website, doing all that stuff on the website, setting it all up, doing all that, I just let YouTube and Squarespace and Podbean do all my work for me. So, yeah, going forward, that is probably what I'm going to do going forward on that stuff. I got to take a drink. Hold on one second. You will not notice a thing, folks. My throat is dry, but you won't notice a thing. Okay, I'm back. You didn't notice a thing, like I said. Magic of not editing, but a pause button on my control panel to pause the recording. It's a great thing to have. So, I talked about I purchased that new Samsung Galaxy Tab A11. It's an 11-inch, it says here. I think it's bigger than that. I think it's 11.5 inch or something. It's almost 12 inches. It's really big. I got a promotional code from it that I do not need. I am going to read this off to you guys here on the audio version, but if you look in the show notes, and I'm going to post this also in the show notes, the promotional code for a 1-month Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. I don't need it because I got a Game Pass subscription anyways, but if you're just one of those people that just wants to use it for a month or something to have Game Pass, I think I'm going to give this away to you guys. I'll talk about this on the podcast now, and then, like I said, I will put this also in the show notes. So if you want to copy it down there, and first come, first serve, whoever gets the code first wins it. You know, there's no purchase necessary. There's nothing to do. It's just me giving away a code because they gave it. Amazon gave it to me for free as a promotional code for a month of Xbox Game Pass, which I don't need. So, here's the promotional code for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and you redeem it through your Xbox code thing in your Xbox or PC and stuff like that to activate it. Or you can also go to xbox.com and redeem as well. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So the promotional code is as follows. Excuse me for 1 second, folks. Okay, you ready? Here's the promotional code. F647T RRGFT W74JD K63VC 47TVZ. And that promotional code again, I'm going to read a little faster this time. It's F647T RRGFT W74JD K63VC 47TVZ. So if you got that code via me saying it or via you Just looking in the show notes. Congratulations, whoever got it first. Sorry for the rest of the people, but I only have one promotional code to give away. Like I said, you could just visit xbox.com/redeem and enter in the code. Log into your Microsoft account first, enter in the code, and you can redeem your code by, it says redeem, wait, this don't make sense. It says redeem your code by June 30th, 2026. It's past June 30th. I wonder if that was a mix-up, if they just put that on there, because this is past June 30th, 2026. I'm sure it still works. That'd be weird if they just give me a code and it doesn't work. But try it out anyways, folks, because, you know, you never know if it works or not. Yeah. Lots of fun here in this podcast. You know what's more fun? Why don't we talk about the games in the news that we got here? Because we got some games news. Actually, before the games news, let's talk about PlayStation. I forgot to put this on the show notes. The whole PlayStation. This is also like games news too, but PlayStation removing discs. We talked about that before. Apparently, a lot of people are pissed off about it. I'm not as pissed off. First off, I don't buy PlayStation games anyways. I haven't purchased a PlayStation game since Sony decided not to put PlayStation games on Steam anymore. And those were all digital. So I haven't bought out a physical PlayStation game since. Well, actually, I did just recently purchase some PlayStation games. Those were PlayStation 3 games. I bought a few of those. Like, you know, Little Big Planet 1 and 2 and Little Big Karting and stuff like that. I did purchase those for the PS3, but otherwise, anyways, I never bought another PlayStation game ever after that. So, yeah. But a lot of people are pissed off that Sony and PlayStation are closing down shop on physical discs, that they're trying to transfer people over from the physical disc production. And I think this is all going to happen by 2028, and they're going to just transfer them to other departments, and that they're not going to have a disc drive, and that they're not going to have discs in the next PlayStation. And people are pissed. Everybody's pissed. All these other companies are pissed. Third parties, partners, you know, limited run games pissed. The UK is pissed. That's the biggest thing. A lot of UK is always pissed. Other places are pissed. A lot of gamers are pissed. And I'm like, what do you expect? Games are gigantic. They don't really fit on the disc that you have. Most likely you're going to be downloading a more patched version of the game anyways. When you pop in that disc, you're going to have to download it anyways from the internet. And it's not what's really on the disc. That disc could be just a code on a disc anyways. And if you wanted a full game on disc, it'd be like 3 or 4 discs big for a full patched game in the future, which they could do. They could sell you, like I was saying, Sony could have kept discs, but they could have did it this way and saying, hey, we will still make discs for games, but we are going to mostly sell these games digital first. And then when they're fully patched, you know, and all the DLCs out and blah, 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 then we will release these games physically on multiple discs and collector's editions that you'll have to spend lots of money on to get. I could have seen them doing that. That would have been a pretty good way to double or triple dip on people to make money off of people for stuff like that. But I guess they don't think that way like I think. But that would have been a good way. And then people would have patched for full versions of the games on discs and stuff. 2, they just want a stranglehold on the marketplace. They don't want used games. They don't want games going on sale as much. They want to control the sales and stuff like that. And, you know, it's Sony. So you got people like removing discs doesn't represent progress. UK retail group condemns PlayStation decision to stop making discs. It says Sony's plan is a triumph of corporate convenience over consumer choice. And yes, and this takes a lot of heat off of Microsoft because, you know, the current Microsoft blunder of all the layoffs and the more layoffs and that are coming in the near future, and Asha Sharma being not very good at her job, period, and not a very good person. And she doesn't really she doesn't really talk to the people either. She just says a few stupid words and goes away. But still, even with all the turmoil and all the bullshit and all the layoffs and the future pending layoffs that are going on Xbox and beyond at Microsoft there, people were really pissed at Sony for all this stuff. But if people are gonna be burning their PlayStation 5s and not buying any more discs and they're gonna throw them all out the window, what are you gonna get next? Are you gonna just go to PC, all you guys over there in PlayStation, or are you gonna go try to go onto Xbox, which you could, because Xbox still has a lot of great games. They still are gonna now I'm hearing they still might have a disk drive in the next Xbox. I thought I heard Xbox say we weren't gonna have a new drive, game drive or disk drive in our next Xboxes, but maybe I heard wrong or read somewhere wrong or something, or it was just a rumor because they didn't really say too much about it, especially when they're trying to do a thing where, hey, if you pop in a Xbox One or Series disc into a disk drive, you can convert that to a digital license that could always be used on your future going Xboxes. And I'm like, maybe this thing will have a disk drive or something, or maybe they'll just say, hey, use your Series X or Xbox One to, you know, read the codes and get them digitized or something. I don't know. But at least they're trying something, and it sounds a lot better than, you know, even with all the layoffs and all the other bullshit. At least Xbox seems like they have something that is smarter and better. You know, everybody hated Xbox One because they thought they weren't able to transfer, you know, trade games to people or sell games used. They thought, oh, this whole game's got to register online thing was a bad thing. No, they're still doing it, and they're going to do it now. And I guess they've been, even though the failure of the service originally was to do what they were going to do now, but now they're like, oh no, we've been putting separate codes on all these discs from the Xbox One going forward now forever. Every disc is individualized, so we can just take those games and get them digitized for you to be played anytime you want on any device that is compatible with that, except for 360 and Xbox One or Xbox original games. And I'm like, even though I want to hate on Asha Sharma and everybody there, that still sounds way better than what Sony's doing, which they're not doing anything. They're not saying anything. They're not saying, oh, don't worry, you can convert your PlayStation 4 and 5 games into digitized games anytime. If you want, just put the disc in the slot and click yes. Or it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but, you know, and a lot of players and fanboys out there are going, fuck PlayStation now. And I'm just like sitting back and like, yeah. So Sony ain't that perfect either, eh? And then PlayStation announced that their FlexStrike wireless flight stick has been postponed due to unexpected production delays. And a lot of people are speculating that no, it's not because of production delays. It is because of how they announced the whole we're getting rid of discs thing. That's what all these commenters are saying. It's not because they had unexpected production delays. It's just because they said that they weren't doing discs anymore, and now they're getting brutally hazed. Hence why PlayStation, Sony haven't said anything about the whole disc-less future, that they're not saying or anything or talking about anything, that they've gone dark about all that stuff. And then when they said, hey, pre-order the PlayStation Flex Strike wireless flight stick, everybody's like, fuck you, Sony. And I'm just like, you guys had these players in the palm of your hand, and then you just said one little sentence that fucked yourselves over 10 times over. Even though these players are still owning PlayStations and they're still going to get purchased like Grand Theft Auto 6. Oh yeah, that's one thing I did not see here. Where is that? I thought I had that on here. That's another thing. I'll be talking about that too, but I thought I had a news story about that. Let's see here. Oh, shoot. There was something. Okay. There we go. I got to add that to the list. I've totally forgot about that one. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Just a little, I forgot to put that in the news about Grand Theft Auto 6. But yeah, like I said, I don't mind a discless future. I know it's not owning your media, because owning your media means they'll let you download the files and put them on your hard drive to keep for later, like you could do with music for MP3s. If they did that for movies, that's what I would want. I would want them to do that for movies, where I can get an MPEG-4 or MKV file of a movie and the highest definition and audio and all that, and be able to just download it to my computer or device and keep that forever, and be able to transfer it to device or computer and stuff like that, and copy and paste it and stuff like that. That would be cool. Just like an MP3, but nobody does that. But, and that's why you don't own stuff like that, unless if you digitize and you make MPEG 3s or 4s yourself. Yeah, that's that whole thing. But yeah, physical media for at least gaming is going to be a thing in the past, people. There's no way around it. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. And that is one hard pill to swallow, but you want these bigger, better games that look great and all that stuff and have the best music and playability, but you don't want to recognize that means they take up a lot of space and they're going to need more discs and blah, 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 blah. And there's updates and patches and stuff because people fuck up all the time. Yeah. It's not that easy. Not that easy, people. Sony's facing an antitrust lawsuit from Mexican lawmakers over its decision to end the production of physical games. Now, I understand Mexican. Is that down in Mexico or is that other places? It says Mexican leaders. So lawmakers in Mexico are set to file an antitrust complaint. Well, remember, where do most of these games get, stamped and published and put out to the States from? Mexico. I know that because every Xbox disc case would have made in Mexico stamp on them. So I would definitely think, yeah, maybe these PlayStation games made in Mexico, just like Xbox games, they're like, hey, we don't want to stamp these and ship these over the border anymore. We'll just cancel them. And the Mexican government's like, no, we make money off of that. That's tax money and everything else. That's probably why they're suing, because people are going to lose their jobs down there. They're going to lose extra funding and stuff that these games go through the borders with. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of money to be lost on that. So, but like I said, I embrace the digital future. It depends. Like I said, Steam, stuff like that. I don't know what's going to happen with Xbox in the future or Xbox for PC and stuff in the future, but I hope it's still around. I hope it gets better. Sony, like I said, Microsoft and Xbox could capitalize on this stuff if they let Sony, fail more and more. They can let them fail more and more, and they could become more successful with goodwill and stuff like that going forward, even though they're fucking up all the behind the scenes with laying off so many people, so many veterans that know how to do stuff, and not replacing them with quality people. That's enough said on that. I'm not, like I said, my whole thing is I've been downloading games digitally for a long time now. If there is a disc-based game or disc for a game and I can buy it, I will buy it. If it's mostly just digital, I'll just get it digitally. It's no big deal to me. I'm probably going to only play that game once anyways, and then what? Anyways, talking about PlayStation and PlayStation Plus game catalog titles are up, and there's some games that you can get for this month's PlayStation Plus. So PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium game catalog here of games that are coming for you to be able to play. So Avatar Frontiers of Pandora for PS5, available globally on July 21st. Rise of Ronin, PS5. Rise of the Ronin will be available as of now, it says here, of the article. So now, July 15th in the United States and the UK, and July 16th in Japan. Firefighting Simulator Ignite for PS5. It's going to be available globally on July 21st. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind for the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. And let's see here. Here we go. That's available, or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind will be available on July 28th in the US and UK and Japan. How about this? There's still a few more games. Dying Light, PS4. Dying Light will be available July 28th in the US, UK, and Japan. Citizen Sleeper 2, Star Wars Vector for PS5. That will be available July 28th in the United States and UK and Japan. Snow White Wonderland. For PS5. And that's the final game. No, there's still a couple more games on the list. So Snow Brothers Wonderland will be available July 28th in the US, UK, and Japan. PlayStation Plus Premium members for P is going to get PsyOps, The Mind Grade Conspiracy, PS5, PS4. PsyOps, The Mindgate Conspiracy will be available globally July 21st. And then finally here, the last game now that I can say this, Indigo Prophecy for PS5 and PS4. Indigo Prophecy will be available globally on July 21st. And that's all your July's PlayStation Plus game catalog and what they include for you to play the game in Japan or anywhere that you want. Whew. That was a lot of talk about stuff that I don't really care about because I already got Avatar. I bought Avatar 2 times over now because I have it for Xbox digitally and now because it was really cheap for the Super Deluxe edition. And I still have a physical copy of that game and blah, 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 blah. And tons of other stuff. So, yeah, I'm crazy too. So why don't we get into the games news that is the games news, and we'll get into that now.
Locked and loaded, ready for the fight. Game Talk Newz, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar.
Sega. Okay, folks, let's get through this gaming news because I got some gaming to do after this podcast. And after I edit this podcast and stuff. But what do we know about it? What do we know about every Assassin's Creed project in active development? Even though Ubisoft is in turmoil and stuff, and then they got Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced that just came out that is completely like bugged and the audio doesn't work in it. So they got still some work to do on this game and patching it and stuff. But otherwise, beyond that, what do they still got? Apparently, Assassin's Creed will be turning 20 years old in 2027. So it's going to be already 20 years of Assassin's Creed. Boy, I feel fucking old. I remember when the very first Assassin's Creed came out on the 360. And it was a big game, and I did not like it. I bought it. I tried playing it, and I was like, I don't get it. I don't know what to do in it. I tried playing as much as I could of it, and I just like fell right off of it. That game, out of all these games, could take a nice brand new coat of paint. They can definitely remaster that game. That 20-year-old Assassin's Creed original game, if they go back and they remaster that and they refix that and they make it with modern day controls and whatnot, that could be really good. Just saying. I think that's Desmond, right? From back in the day. Desmond Returns. Yeah, 20 years old in 2027. Boy, I'm 40. So I was 20 when Assassin's Creed came out. Or I would be. Because that'd be 2027, I'd be 41. So I would be 21 when that game, Assassin's Creed, came out. Damn. After 15 main series entries, they're just talking about it. So they're talking about some like ones that might be in the hopper or in early development and stuff over at Ubisoft and one of their many things. The biggest one has been the one that people have been talking about, the witch one, the one that has like supernatural things going on in it. And I'm like, okay, witches and supernatural. I can go for Assassin's Creed like that. It's called Assassin's Creed Codename Hex. We work in the dark. That's all we can say for now about Assassin's Creed Codename Hex. And it's got like, it's going to be witchy. They do not know when that's coming out, and they don't know what platforms it's going to be on, but that's interesting to me. Then we got Assassin's Creed Jade. And this isn't the mobile game. Let's see here. Let's see here. Though it's closed betas before, there's still no indication as to when Assassin's Creed Jade will be released in full. Apparently, it was a mobile game, but they're redoing it for like consoles. Okay, maybe making it better. Then we got Assassin's Creed Invictus. Assassin's Creed Invictus. There we go. Invictus. Unlike Hex and Jade, we have yet to actually see anything of Assassin's Creed Invictus. We know it will be a PvP multiplayer Assassin's Creed experience led by a dedicated team of For Honor veterans at Ubisoft Montreal, according to Gaston. In the March of 2026 Assassin's Creed franchise update, as for what the multiplayer experience will look like, that's your guess as good as mine, people. Invictus setting, characters, and narrative are all unknown. That is weird, though. A PvP multiplayer Assassin's Creed. I guess it could work. More remakes maybe down the road. So after Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced has sold so many copies, people were thinking, are they going to remake the originals and do other stuff? That would be cool, but you got to make sure this game works first, Ubisoft. You got to make sure that audio's fixed and a bunch of other bugs are fixed so that people won't complain as much, that the game is playable and fun, you know? Let's see here. Yves Guillemot stated players can be excited about some remakes, which will allow us to revisit some of the games we've created in the past and modernize them after being what felt like an open secret for the longest time. The remake Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced was officially announced and released this year and did exactly that, modernize a classic. Yeah. Then we got this Herodis. The Creed takes the stage. Herodis, an original live show with Assassin's Creed, is coming to Montreal for its world premiere. Artists, actors, dancers join forces on stage for a new acrobatic experience. Oh, so there's a stage show for Assassin's Creed in Montreal. Then there's going to be maybe an Assassin's Creed TV series. Okay. And that's about it. So, okay. The filming started back in 2026. Fans initially wondered if the show would be an adaptation of Ezio, but instead it will be original story with the ancient Rome. Netflix series does not have a release date at this time. Oh, it's a Netflix series. Of course it is. Huh. Interesting. So a lot of Assassin's Creed shit going on, of course. I'd be interested in a Chinese Assassin's Creed game, if that's what the Jade thing is. We already did Japan with Shadows. Why not China? Well, then why not Australia? And then she travels around the world and where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Yeah, that's me. In other news, GTA 6 predicted to make up to $5.2 billion in sales by the end of launch week after securing an estimated $260 million via pre-orders right now. So is $260 million via pre-orders good? Yes, it's really good. It's really great. I guess. Up to $5.2 billion by the end of launch week? I don't think so. Is it going to sell that much? What are they going to do? Sell like a bunch of shark cards that day on sale? Or what? What would they do to try to get $5.2 billion in sales by the end of launch week for GTA 6? That doesn't make sense. If it only got $260 million in pre-order via pre-orders now, sure, there are other people like me that are willing to wait to get the game. I don't know if they're actually saving up Microsoft reward points like me, but that's what I'm doing. I already got a big chunk of Microsoft reward points again on this podcast. I think I got over 30,000 plus points. So not too long to go to get to 50. And I'll just keep going. I'll just keep going and keep getting those reward points until, until the day of GTA 6 outage before that. And then I'll just put all those points together and save myself a whole mess of money from buying GTA 6. But, jeez. So GTA 6 is predicted to generate sales up to $5.2 billion by the end of the year, end of the launch week, after enjoying the strongest pre-order campaign one analyst has ever seen. Newzoo analyst shows GTA 6 generated approximately 180 million in digital pre-orders across the United States and the 5 biggest European markets during the last week of June, as GTA 6 pre-orders went live at midnight on June 25th, which to me is stupid to even have pre-orders for a digital game, because most people are going to get them no matter what. Let's see here. The analytics firm used GTA 5's player distribution. Around 69% of GTA 5's lifetime console players sit within those 6 markets, and to then estimate global first week pre-order spending for GTA 6 and approximately $260 million based on the comparable pre-order curves. GTA 6 is currently tracking towards 3.25 billion to 5.2 billion in cumulative sales by the end of launch week. That's very ambitious. I don't think it's going to sell that much. I think it's going to stall out. I think people that have pre-ordered already, or people that are frugal like me that are waiting to get the games a little cheaper with some like rewards points. Otherwise, I don't think that many people have the consoles and the hardware to play GTA 6, and now they won't ever be able to, at least in the near future. Yeah, it seems I don't believe it. I don't know. I think it's only gonna be a little bit more. I think maybe they'll get $1 billion or $1.5 billion in sales. 5 or 6 billion. Nah, I don't know. I could be wrong on that. I could be really wrong. We'll see. I don't have no skin in the game on that, so it's not really bothersome for me. Sorry about my lack of enthusiasm, folks, about GTA 6 and all that and the pre-orders. I'm getting really tired. It's getting really late today. It's already 10 o'clock at night. I'm doing this on Saturday for this podcast, so I think I'm going to be editing this and uploading this podcast on Sunday. Pre-uploading, I should say. Not uploading, but pre-uploading for Sunday before it goes up on Monday. But yeah, it's just my lack of energy that is left in me. That's why I was like, ugh. And like I said, it's going to sell a lot of copies, but with the hardware shortages and less people buying Xboxes and PlayStations now that they're, almost $1,000 or so, and you can't get the game on PC, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people holding out for PC or even Switch. Who knows? There's been no word, and I'm sure they would love to put this game on Switch too, but I don't know. And it says here, GTA 6 has the strongest pre-order campaign on record, is on track to sell 37 to 51 million copies in week one, analyst firm states. We'll see if that's actually true. And with all these studios downsizing and firing people and completely wrecking their own businesses in the gaming industry, we got I used to say this perfect. Koei Tecmo stating, the CEO stating, it grew from 2,500 staff to over 3,000 in 2 years, and is aiming to increase growth of their studios and staff for up to 5,000 people. The company has also built new employee dorms and company housing for staff at Koei Tecmo. So if people need a job, maybe you might go to Koei Tecmo in Japan to get a job working on games over there, because it looks like they're going to be staffing up some more. Now, what do they make over there anymore? How many games do they make? I used to know. They got the Dynasty Warrior City series, Team Ninja. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive. Okay. I got to continue to play that Ninja Gaiden game eventually. I haven't played that in a while. That's still on GamePass. I still have it. I have not. I beat the other ones. I should continue to play that game someday. I could probably buy it as well because it was okay. They did Gust and other stuff, smartphone titles, a lot of interesting stuff. Hyrule Wars, Age of Imprisonment. Oh, they did that as well. Okay. Omega Force. Which works on the Dynasty Warrior series. Okay. So they want to staff up, folks. So if they're willing to, build more company things, dorms, stuff like that, and and aim to get more than 3,000 and add more people to their thing instead of subtract? That says something. That says, oh, what are the rest of you fuckers doing in your companies? Oh, let me guess. You all going for the AI bullshit? Because this company's like, no, we want to add people, not subtract. Weird. It's always the Japanese companies, folks. So how long do owners state that Xbox controllers usually last? That's always been a thing. A few people say, and this is on Reddit, that with the 360 controllers, or 360 user on Reddit got almost 20 years of heavy use out of his controller before it had to be retired. Your controller might be old and outdated, but consider these clever uses of your old 360 controller before you consider retiring the console and stuff. They got a lot of stuff here. Before stick drift happens, stuff like that. People are saying like 5 to 10 years, stuff like that around there. People with said, hey, if you can get those Hall Effect or TMR joysticks, they last longer, and then you can replace them. Xbox branded controllers from third parties that use Hall Effect joysticks. There are some great options for any budget out there. Yes, okay. They got the Xbox Elite Wireless Elite 2 Series 2 controller. Yeah. They say encountered 2 major technical issues, broken bumpers and buttons. Huh. So users who bought the Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2 state that they have encountered 2 major mechanical issues, broken bumpers and buttons. A user who has been using this $200 controller for a year asked if there are any people who are not experiencing issues with it after hearing lots of horror stories. Several commenters stated they have been using their controllers for over 2 years without issues. However, several others mentioned they experienced mechanical issues within 6 months. Yeah, that can happen with anything. You know, they're making a ton of these. Yeah, they could be something. For me personally, I remember it's been like, 4 to 5 years for 360 controllers, if that was even the case. I think because I always bought those new customized controllers when they always had like a Tomb Raider one or Final Fantasy one or Gears of War one, I would always get a new controller anyways. It's kind of the same now. If there's a new crazy look, and I'm bringing one out right now, if I can get like a see-through blue, I got this nice blue see-through Xbox Series controller. This is one of my main used controllers. And then I got my regular black, grayish black edition controller here, which I just use. Series controller that I just use for PC, you know. And then I got another series controller in the basement, brand new. Hold on, I got to put this controller back. As I try to do this while I'm podcasting. Not a good thing to do. Sorry about that, folks. Bad pod. But I don't usually, like I said, I don't usually notice stick drift or anything else or broken. Really, I don't have any broken controllers or anything because I usually just buy new ones anyways before the other ones become old, or I just keep using the old ones for like PC and stuff. And I got 3 of these. I got these 2 here. I got the third one, brand new one in package, never been used, in the basement. I'll probably buy another one. I got 2 Dukes series for the Xbox, 3 Dukes. Sorry, not 2, but 3 of those, those limited edition Duke controllers that they were putting out. I got one for Christmas and I bought the other 2. I have those. I can use those, but I probably won't, but I got those. Those are collector's controllers. And like I said, in the future, depending on how Xbox goes, I'll still be buying more controllers, even if I want them or not. I still have not yet, because I'm still waiting for them to do better with their custom Xbox controllers for see-through and stuff like that, so I can fully customize, like put my own photos or my own art on my controller. If they can do that and I can get like some see-through and whatnot on that, I will have my own custom built Xbox controller at that time. If I could put my own art on it or it could get see-through, I would definitely do that. I looked on there. They said they had see-through, and then it didn't show up anywhere in the menus about see-through, and I was like all bummed out. I'm like, but you guys said you had see-through options for controllers, and I didn't see anything. A lot of colors, a lot of different things, but that or custom artwork, I would love to put like an OldFreakyGamer logo on the front of my controller, just plastered on the front of that controller. That'd be a collector's item right there. That'd be cool. But I don't wear out my controllers as much as other people do. And I play a lot of games on the controllers and stuff. And not 360, maybe I had one controller that I had to get rid of. I know for like Joy-Cons, I had to get new ones and do stuff with. I knew like Wiimotes, stuff like that for Nintendo. A lot of Nintendo stuff usually fails sooner than later. So, yeah, but Xbox, I don't know. They last a long time. They're very well built. They're very well been very well designed, and they're very well built, folks. Former Xbox studio Compulsion Games states it's open for collaborations. I'm sure you heard about this in other podcasts. They're negotiating and negotiated its independence, taking to LinkedIn to let other developers and publishers know they are open for business and seemingly open to working as a support studio or co-developer on another team's project. With Compulsion Games returning to its roots as an independent developer, we're expanding opportunities to collaborate with studios across games and entertainment industry. The studio's LinkedIn post reads, "We invite partners and leverage the talent and creativity of the award-winning teams behind South of Midnight. We're excited to support the development of memorable experiences that engage and entertain players around the world." And then they got a bigger statement on below. The only problem is how many people are actually using them. How many people would actually use them as a third-party studio? I don't know. A lot of people just want to cut costs as much as possible, and a lot of other support studios out there, if you like, not Double Fine. I'm trying to think. What's that one called? Oh shit, that other support studio. They were doing a lot of support before, and then that dried up for them. I wonder, is Compulsion Games going to make another new game themselves? I would love to see a South of Midnight 2. I'd buy that if you guys sold it. If it didn't go on GamePass or anything like that, I would definitely would love to see a South of Midnight 2 Compulsion, because I did love South of Midnight. I never played the We Happy Few. Actually, I think I played for 2 seconds and I didn't like it. But for the South of Midnight, that was a great kick-ass game. Great story. I loved all the characters and stuff. And I was very happy to play and beat that game. And I'm like, shit, if they ever make a South of Midnight 2, I would be definitely on board with that. So Compulsion Games, if you ever decide you want to make a new South of Midnight game, you got one pre-order right here in this podcast. Love to see that. Nintendo reportedly considering a switch to OLED model, though remains concerned of how much it would cost. I don't think people would fucking care on how much it would cost. And it shouldn't cost them that much more. An OLED screen compared to an LCD screen, how much more would that actually cost them for that? For real. I don't think they would. I think they can make the thing better and another $50? They're already charging all that stuff. Doing it pretty early. A lot of people have been mentioning that Nintendo is announcing this pretty early. I wonder if it's because a lot of people are holding out, like me, for an OLED model, and we just don't want to buy the basic model because I guess I've been hearing that the regular Switch 2 model right now, its screen is really really bad. Like it's got some issues to it. I've been hearing for blacks and movement and stuff like that. And that if they did put in this OLED screen in the new one, that it would be a lot better. It would help a lot, and it would just fix all of their problems with a lot of stuff. Yeah, and I'd probably buy one. I'm also still would consider a Switch 2 Lite with an OLED screen on that. That'd be cool too. Even though I'd be playing a lot of Switch 1 games on it because there's very few Switch 2 games that I care about. There'd be like Donkey Kong Bonanza and stuff like that, and the new Pokemon games, I'm sure, but anything else? I don't think so. I don't care about Star Fox. I don't care about any of the other titles, but Donkey Kong Bonanza, probably the new Pokemon titles in the future. Sure. Otherwise, it'd be a Switch 1, me playing Switch 1 games on it. So Nintendo is reportedly considering plans to launch a Switch 2 OLED model, though remains concerned of how much it might cost. As a fresh report by press quotes industry sources familiar with the plans for Nintendo to launch an upgraded Switch 2 model with a 1080p OLED screen supplied by Samsung. And the reason why it's going to be 1080p is because the console only does up to 1080p. It doesn't really... And in handheld mode, that still sucks up a lot of battery stuff. There's a lot of stuff because they don't do 4K, Nintendo. It does 1080p on everything. So, yeah. But it's going to be supplied by Samsung, of course, and I'm sure they could get a great deal on panels for that. But while apparently in discussion, these plans still remain uncertain due to the increased cost involved. It's reported that OLED screens are widely considered better quality than LCD, which the Switch 2 currently uses, but come with higher manufacturing costs that will need to be passed on to the consumer. And that's on top of the spiraling cost existing semiconductors and other electronic components. Yeah. But like I said, people like me would be willing to get one. And it says also in this article, should Nintendo move forward with its Switch 2 OLED plans, development on the model could begin as late as this year, with mass production then pegged for late 2027 or 2028. This would place its launch around the same time, roughly 3 or 4 years on from the Switch 2 launch. Also, the original Switch also saw an OLED model release just over 4 years of the console's initial launch, and there has long been expectation that Nintendo would do the same thing similar to its console successor. A lot of people, like me, thought that the Switch 2 would launch with an OLED screen as a standard, but Nintendo has confirmed or previously stated that it opted to revert back to an LCD in order to keep costs down. But then you eventually got to go back to an OLED because you're like, oh, well, people want to look at their games in a better resolution and stuff like that. So I think the only reason they did that was not just cost down, but also to make more profit, because then they could sell a second Switch 2 with an OLED model. And there has also been no word on a Switch 2 Lite, despite success of the Switch Lite for the first one. That would be cool, especially if a Switch 2 Lite had an OLED screen on it. That'd be double cool, because I wouldn't really care about playing on a console anyways. I just mainly play on that. But that's just me, folks. That's just me. I would definitely love a Switch 2 OLED. Even though I'm not too particular on Nintendo right now, but still, Switch 2 OLED, I'd put all my games on there. I'd buy more games. I'd buy all my new games digitally, because why bother getting the cartridges? That's why I said I was selling all my other older Switch games, because I'll just buy them all digitally. Because I saw that they were all available digitally, and I'm just going to buy them all digitally. Get it all digital. Everything digital on Switch 2. Because why? Why not? Also, Nintendo support articles show inside the new Switch Joy-Cons with the removable batteries, and it looks neat. It looks somewhat easy. You got to unscrew the back panel with the 3 or 4 screws, flip the thing over. There's a little battery and a little, wire bopper there. Yeah, just like a Switch controller. And then, of course, the Switch 2 itself, you got the little battery pack in the back of that too. They should just make that standard for everything, not just with the Switch Joy-Cons, but they should just do that for everything, the Switch 2, the Switch Joy-Cons. And I know they're just doing this for Europe, but why not just do it everywhere, like here in America and stuff like that? It just makes things so much better and easier. And then they can sell batteries for these things and make some money off of battery sales. Why not? Seems like an idea to me. Let's see here. Yeah, but otherwise, besides that, if I was to get to Switch 2, like I said, the only things I would get is probably Donkey Kong Bonanza and the Pokemon games. I would not buy Mario Kart because I'm not spending no fucking $80 on that piece of shit. Unless if it was like half that, maybe 40, I'd buy it for, but I'm not going to get that. But like I said, for Donkey Kong Bonanza, I've been hearing that's really awesome. Seen some gameplay of it. I'd definitely buy that. I'd definitely buy one of the new Pokemon games. There's nothing else I'd want. I don't want Star Fox. I don't want any of the other shit. And it's like, okay, then I'd be playing mostly Switch 1 games. I'd be playing that Switch, whatchamacallit, Tears of the Kingdom, finally. It's been a long time since I played a Zelda game, and I would love to play Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm waiting on the Switch 2 to do that. I could play on my Switch 1, but I hear it runs really ragged on that, and I'd rather play it on the Switch 2 with the better processing and stuff like that. And I don't need the updated version of that either, because then I'd have to pay more for the updated Tears of the Kingdom game. Talking about updates, a new look at Kingdom Hearts 4 may be coming next month, it's saying here. So a new look of Kingdom Hearts 4 may be imminent. Disney has confirmed its plans for D23, a Disney-specific convention that covers movies, TV shows, and anything Disney-related. While you expect updates on a bunch of major projects, there is one project gamers are particularly interested in, Kingdom Hearts 4. While Disney hasn't explicitly confirmed a new look at the game at D23, it did confirm that there will be an hour-long panel celebrating 25 years of Kingdom Hearts. Has it been 5 years of Kingdom Hearts 2? Damn. Can't believe it. I don't want to believe it. That seems like a lot of Kingdom Hearts. It'd be pretty surprising if they let us celebratory 25th anniversary panel come and go without some news on Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah, but it's Disney too. So Disney likes to disappoint nowadays. I got the original Kingdom Hearts games again digitally. I think I can play them. Are they only on the Xbox? But I can stream them to my handheld as well. I got those. I got all of the originals again. Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of let me down a little bit. I played a lot of it, but then I got to a certain point I was just like, it's not like Final Fantasy where I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. If they did Kingdom Hearts more like Final Fantasy, I'd be like, okay, I can do this. But it's not. It's not Final Fantasy. It's Kingdom Hearts. But I definitely like to see what Kingdom Hearts 4 has to offer, because it looked a lot more Final Fantasy-ish, let's just say. They really bumped up everything from graphics to cutscenes, all that stuff. So very interested to what they might show. And then the final news story I find, and I left this for last because I thought this was very funny and we can all have a good laugh on our way out of the podcast here. But GameStop CEO states that Sony's decision to end physical media is irrelevant to the company's business. So GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen states Sony's decision to end physical game production is totally irrelevant to the company. The statement is supported by both physical and digital games, which only contribute 18% to overall revenue. Cohen's comments likely won't help gamers in their push to retain physical game discs. I remember when GameStop back in the day, before this douchebag nozzle came around, they used to be really scared about disc-based media. They're like, no, we got to have discs. Because you remember Sony and people were like, well, maybe you should go digital. And they're like, no, we got to have something to sell and resell and blah, blah, blah. You're going to kill the resale market and blah, blah, blah. And they were really tight. Now it's like, I don't care. Ryan Cohen's like, I don't care. Let them kill physical media. It's irrelevant. So what's your business, GameStop? If physical media is not your business anymore, what's your business? Funko Pops? Other crappy collectibles. They just basically turned themselves into a non-comic book store where they just sell and trade collectibles or what could be collectibles and stupid shit like that over in their stores. And it's like, wow, GameStop turned into a joke. It used to be just about games. And then they introduced some like movies and stuff back when I still went to GameStop. Then they started adding some like movies and DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff. And then it just got ridiculous. And I'm just like, okay. At least with the Funko Pops, you can find like some gaming-esque Funko Pops and stuff like that. I still like Funko Pops. I know a lot of people don't like Funko Pops or never liked them. I still like them. They're not as big as, Amiibos are now. I still buy a lot of Amiibos if I can, or pre-order good Amiibos, but I still like me some Funko Pops. I got a million of them, but that's just me in a nutshell. But I find this funny. I find this guy is a big joke, and GameStop's been a big joke for a while now. I'm just waiting till the day that GameStop finally announces, "Oh, we're going under. We're going under. We're closing up shop here. No more I'm trying to think. No more trades, no more this, that. That would be a day. That'd be a end of an era. GameStop shuts down. Because we had like stuff like EB Games. We had stuff like what do you call it? Oogie Games here in Western New York. I remember back in the day, my favorite used and new and used game shop that I used to go to back in the day when I was a young Mr. Mike. I was a young Mr. Mike. This is back when Nintendo and Sega and stuff was at. We had a place called Zappers. That was the fucking awesomest place ever. If you couldn't afford to buy a game, but you could afford to, not just borrow or rent a game. You can go into Zappers. You can pay to play either a new or used game or any game that they had there on their own TV set. So you can pay to sit there and play games on their TV sets, and there would be new games and there'd be used older games. And I bought a bunch of Nintendo NES games. But back in the day, Little Mr. Mike and my family were super poor. I come from a very poor family, and Mr. Mike did not have that money. I did stupid stuff back in the day. If I could go back in time, I'd kick myself in the ass, but I traded in the good Game Boys and Game Boy Colors and special edition Game Boys that I should have just kept over the years, and I gotta kick myself in the ass for all that stuff that I traded in back in the day. I had a good Game Boy Color. I had traded in all my Game Boy and Game Boy Color games for some rollerblades and stuff. I was stupid back in the day, but I was poor. I didn't have any revenue coming in. I didn't have a job of sorts. So what was I supposed to fucking do? And the only thing I can do is just go in and trade stuff and try to make like I said, trying to make a good trade so I can buy some new games and stuff. But now I got money. Now everything's to shit, and now you can't hardly get any of this stuff anymore. I wish, like I said, I wish I had money back in the day. I wish I was a different person. Yeah. It's a sad situation because, like I said, I love those old Game Boy Colors. I had original Game Boy. It had original Game Boy Colors. I should have kept them all because they would have been worth tons of money now, and I would have had a cool collection. And now what a bummer, eh? I don't want to bum. I don't want to be bummed. I don't want to be bummered out. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes, folks. Enough reminiscing about my past. Maybe on the next podcast, I'll talk about what I used to have back in the day that I gave up stupidly and what kind of games and systems and stuff that young, poor Mr. Mike was able to get and rummage. I still have some items from my past. Like I still have some game systems. Like I got a PlayStation original. I got my original NES system. I think it's totally broken. I think the caps popped in it or something, but I still have it. It doesn't work. It doesn't boot up. It doesn't, work. But I got, something different than that. But still have it. Still have the controllers and everything. It just sits there and behind glass now. I still have a few NES games, sitting behind there. Otherwise, yeah, no, I really don't. I really, really, really don't have any. Yeah. Why don't we get it going now, folks? So everybody, before I go, like I said, for this week, it's another. It's always a late week. I'll try to get some gaming in, but we'll see. Because it's I shouldn't say nice out, but it's still nice-ish. I've been outside a lot, but between work and stuff. But that's what summer months are. They're not really big gaming months for me. I haven't been able to sit outside the game because it's been like kooky, weird, hot, and now with the smoke coming from Canada because they're on fire, it's hard to sit out there. But I will try. Maybe tomorrow, if it's not too bad. It's supposed to be somewhat 70s this week, so maybe I'll be able to sit outside if it's not too ashy and smoky or whatnot. Yeah, summer months, it's harder for me to do any gaming. When winter comes, it's back to full game mode and stuff like that again. But anyways, yeah, like I said, I think it's episode 5 of Game Through on Wednesday with Halo Infinite. So have fun with that. And then there's just 2 more episodes left after that to come out, which Halo Campaign Involved will be out by then. But still, watch what I'm deciding about Halo Infinite. I'm sure you're getting the gist of how I'm liking it by now. And on Friday, it'll be more trucking with American Truck Simulator, folks. So we will be hitting the open road again. Hauling ass, hauling whatever, tools, equipment, I don't know, manure, I don't know what I'm going to be hauling, but we're going to be hauling something with American Truck Simulator on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and Game On Live. And then the following week, we'll have more podcasts. There'll be that first gameplay of Halo Campaign Evolved that following week. So, yeah, got some stuff coming up. So, I'm going to end it there. I'm going to quit. And we're going to call this podcast Game and Done. So, everybody, this is Mr. Mike saying game on, game hard, world conquest. Saying game on, game hard, world conquest. I said that already. And this podcast is now Game over.
In the zone, level up the unknown. Game Talk Newz, it's all a thrill. Conquering worlds with skill on skill. Game on, game hard. Streaming stars, we're never far. Game on, game hard. In this conquest, we're avatars. The mic calls the plays, gaming chair, endless days. Podcast echoes through the streams, living out our pixel dreams. Hit that button, go live, go live. In this realm where games survive. GamezAttack with a rebel spark. We're lighting up the digital dark. Game on, game hard. Streaming stars, we're never far.
Game over.